Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Wednesday morning to you all. Hope you guys are getting up and having a great start to your day as we're working our way through the week. Got you an update as far as the weather on what potentially can happen today in the lower 48. So we're going to break down each region like we always do and really talk about it. I'm not seeing really any area that could see really bad weather today. Just a pretty large area that could see a lot of showers and storms. And my biggest concern for today is actually flooding. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and hit on that some. If you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider doing that. It goes a long way. Like the video if you like it. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm still feeling pretty down this morning about what happened yesterday. Having two little girls myself, it was just hard to get going this morning. I was deep in thought and I couldn't focus on my normal things that I do in the mornings. And yeah, it's just pretty sad situation what happened today. So prayers continue. It's not something we just shoot off the hip. When we say thoughts and prayers, it's always important to actually pray. I think we've all done it at some point in our lives where we said, "Hey man, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for your situation," and maybe we didn't do it. And I know over the last couple of years, if I change, as I have changed and I've grown, I've definitely if I say I'm going to pray for you, I'm going to pray. And there's a lot of people that need it right now out in Texas, that's for sure. So let's talk about some weather. If you guys got anything I can pray about, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over, and it gives a whole lot of other people who watch these videos an opportunity to pray for you also. So let's get going this morning. As always, we're going to start off by looking at the water vapor loop. And once again, we have a big piece of energy shooting off Texas and moving into areas of the northwest Gulf of Mexico. There was a big discussion yesterday on Twitter in the weather world, talking about, hey, could this develop into something? Sometimes they can, but, I'm not seeing it. There's a lot of shear in place over the Gulf of Mexico, so I don't think you can get any organization, even off a big complex of storms that enter the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. At the same time, with this big upper low that's kind of spiraling right here, you're getting a big pull out of the south, moving to the north of moisture. And in fact, you've also had a tornado. Actually, we've had a tornado warning in the far western areas of the Panhandle of Florida this morning. And you see these big blowups and convection right here. These are lines of storms that are moving onto the Gulf Coast into areas like southern Alabama and then the western Panhandle of Florida. So we need to watch out for that this morning. Water spouts, tornadoes, and things like that. Not a huge risk, but if we look at actual radar scope from this big complex of storms, they have since moved off the coast of southeast Texas. But then we also look at Mobile really quick. See how fast I can type this. And let's see if there's any tornado warning still. There is not, but there's a big time streamer of moisture moving now just east of Pensacola, Florida, and just west of Destin, Florida. So right in the middle. And this is going to continue. And there'll be some embedded spin-ups with this. There was a tornado warning a little bit earlier, about an hour ago, in this region right here of Florida. So please be careful in this region. There is a big streamer of moisture that's probably not only going to cause severe weather, but a flooding threat for this area this morning. Not necessarily this afternoon, but this morning. So right now, you just got a big, gigantic marginal risk, which is a level 1 out of 5. This stretches all the way from the Gulf Coast all the way up past Chicago, almost up to Milwaukee. So really, in general, there's a low-end tornado risk, a 2% risk in a very large area, stretching from kind of the same regions, but obviously not as broad as the entire marginal risk. So anywhere from New Orleans, Mobile, Houston, all the way up through Memphis, all the way up through St. Louis to Chicago, a 2% risk, including St. Louis, to see a tornado today at 25 miles at any given point. There's also a chance for some damaging winds, but that's definitely not a high-end big deal today, a 5% risk basically in the entire marginal risk area. And then the hail threat is even smaller compared to the damaging wind threat. So, in general, as far as severe weather today, not a huge threat of it, but there is a chance to see it. Just like, you're just starting to get into that summer pattern where any shower or storm that pops up, or any storm that pops up, could be strong to severe, even if they're not even calling for strong to severe storms that day. But the biggest concern today, I really think, is flash flooding occurring down here in the deep south and areas of the mid-south. Watch out, Memphis. Watch out down here, near Mobile, Alabama. Watch out, very small section of the bayou of Louisiana, where you now have moderate risk, very small areas. And that means you got at least a 40% chance of flash flooding guidance being met within 25 miles of these little red areas, inside these red areas, which are the moderate risk. So whatever flash flood guidance is, it might be met very easily in your particular location if you picked up a lot of rain lately, which I feel like some of these areas have definitely picked up a lot of rain over the last several weeks. But a pretty large slight risk also surrounds these three little areas of the red risk, which is the moderate risk. So that is at least a 15% chance of seeing flash flooding. I think this will be a big deal today. Hopefully it's not, but please watch out, because a lot of these showers and storms will go over the same areas over and over again. And let's go on and look at it. Let's start this off around 10 a.m. this morning Eastern time, 9 a.m. Central time. And we'll get this rolling, and this complex of storms will continue to move through, but it will still be stretching all the way into Louisiana. So Louisiana, you're going to be seeing a line of showers and storms throughout the late morning hours. This will continue into Mississippi around lunchtime to the early afternoon hours. At the same time, you basically have this stream out the south whipping its way through areas of Alabama, the panhandle of Florida. This will cause a severe weather threat. It will also cause a flooding threat. But these storms right here will be moving more from the west to the east, as the upper trough kind of just spins away up here and the directional flow kind of moves out of that direction. But in general, watch out Mississippi, Alabama, even up here in Memphis. You guys have seen a lot of rain lately. This could be a nasty line of storms that moves through Mississippi throughout the afternoon hours. And then, like I said, in Alabama, just general pop-up showers and storms. And then the whole entire flow will begin to shift basically from probably the southwest to northeast. And then you'll probably get some more widespread showers and storms. Probably more so for Alabama later in the evening, as opposed to Mississippi. It'll be more earlier in the afternoon. But Tennessee, showers and storms expected. Line of showers and storms all the way up into the Ohio Valley associated with this upper trough. And then even into Georgia and South Carolina, you guys could see some pop-up showers and storms today, but definitely not widespread. I think tomorrow will be more of a widespread today. But as you're getting into late evening, I'm talking about 9, 10, 11 p.m., these showers and storms begin to make its way into central to eastern areas of Tennessee and then northern Georgia. When you continue to get showers and storms all day and probably all evening in the panhandle of Florida. Rain today is a big deal, okay? This is between now and tomorrow morning. As much as 5 inches of rain could fall in areas of southern Mississippi. The entire state of Mississippi could see, anywhere from maybe a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch to maybe as much as, like I said, 4 or 5 inches of rain. Same deal here in southeast Louisiana. A few inches of rain is definitely likely at this point. A lot of rain for eastern Arkansas. More rain for western Tennessee than eastern Tennessee today, but even all the way up into the Quad States regions, you guys could see a few inches of rain today with just continuous showers and storms flowing through the area. You look at the H-triple-R model for the Northeast, it's a lot more quiet. You got some rain. We can look at Michigan here, which is more so the Great Lakes region, but more of a widespread rain moving through areas of Michigan today. Not really much in the way of showers and storms. Maybe some showers and storms down here in Ohio, especially southern sections of the state, and Kentucky. But for the actual Northeast and New England and the Mid-Atlantic, pretty quiet day today. Nothing really popping up. Just a quiet weather day in general. For the South Central U.S., most of the action will likely be up here in probably northeast areas of Oklahoma, southwest Missouri, and northwest Arkansas. And then also southeast, make sure I get my directions right, southeast Kansas, where you kind of will have that cold core low pressure. And please watch out, definitely watch out in these areas right here in southwest Arkansas and southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas. This is kind of a cold core setup. If you actually look at the Storm Prediction Center, the tornado threat doesn't really show for this area, but I think it's possible. Oh, there's my little girls, my screensaver. I think it's possible that we could definitely see maybe a quick spin up in this area of the country today with a cold core setup that can sometimes pop off a tornado. So watch out for these showers and storms right here in Missouri, in southern Missouri today, and just more widespread rain, obviously north and northwest of the low, where you basically have more stable atmosphere, but just more of a widespread, probably rain-cooled air here. And then even into Oklahoma, it'll be pretty cool today. As far as up the Midwest and North Central, well, not North End, but basically the northern Midwest areas, the northern plains, more of a widespread rain today for Wisconsin, Minnesota. It'll be a rainy day for Minneapolis, Chicago, especially just basically the entire state of Wisconsin and even northern Michigan area. You guys are going to see more of a widespread rain moving in probably later this afternoon and evening. I mean, this will just be your classic just rain. It's not going to be any storms up in this region. But when you get a little bit further south down here to Chicago, see these little pop-up storms? These could be strong to severe, even a tornado threat with these. So you get down into southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois, and then the Ohio Valley, watch out. These could pop, maybe a quick tornado and just have a general threat for damaging winds and hail. But I don't see anything significant in this area today, but there is going to be some storms in the Ohio Valley for sure today. Temperatures, typical upper low. They tend to bring their own cool weather, especially on the north and northwest side of these low pressures, even the southwest side, where rain-cooled air wraps around the low, where it's raining, and basically just brings a cool atmosphere in this region of the country. It looks like a comma head right here. So 50s, cutting through Wisconsin, most of Minnesota, unless you're in far actual northwest areas of Minnesota, will be warmer where you're not influenced by clouds and rain. And then cutting through areas of eastern South Dakota, the entire eastern half of Nebraska, central areas of Kansas, and even a cool, chilly day for Oklahoma City with highs only in the 50s and 60s. But ahead of this upper low where you still got the flow of moist, warm air, 80s all the way up into the Ohio Valley, 60s and 70s for the Northeast. And we'll keep temperatures a little bit down due to cloud cover, but still just a muggy air mass will probably reaffirm itself in areas of the Southeast and Deep South today, which has been muggy. But in general, probably the warmest spot today across the eastern U.S. will be Florida and central to southern areas of Georgia, where you guys will probably warm back into the 90s today. The western U.S. pretty quiet. Not a whole lot going on. Not really a whole lot to talk about. Probably one of the quietest days in a while in general. And in response to that, where you don't have any rain-cooled air, well above average temperatures for this part of the West. You got the well below average temperatures right here in this real small area, but I mean, it is scorching here in the valleys of California, the Southwest, getting well into the hundreds today. And then even, the valley towns and cities in Washington State and Oregon, reaching into the 60s and maybe even the 70s today, with some 80s popping up in the lower elevations of Idaho, Oregon, even Washington State, and beautiful weather expected from Montana, Wyoming, the plains of Colorado, rising into the 60s and 70s. So that's all I got, guys. We'll look ahead to tomorrow. I'm concerned about tomorrow. It's a tricky setup. It's more of a March or April setup for the South. I would not be surprised if this marginal risk switches to a slight risk for tomorrow. We'll talk about that a little bit this evening. But there's also an interesting setup for you folks in the Northwest also, where you guys have a slight risk of severe storms. It does not happen a lot, but it is a possibility. So God bless all y'all. Have a great day today, and I'll talk to y'all this evening.